Hello, TGC Requiem. Um, Here with Kiki Chord, we're gonna do a modern just for fun league or friendly league. Um, we are playing Kiki Chord. This is a decent hand for turn one. Um, you're not always going to have your Birds of Paradise. We have White Wall of Omens to draw us into a card. Fulminator Mage if we end up against or potentially Fulminator Mage if we end up against some sort of Tron or Valaka deck. Yeah, it's definitely a keep. These decks are fun. We're basically toying around a little bit with Renegade Rallier, and found Renegade Rallier in some light testing has been pretty awesome with Eldritch Evolution, so we're just going to go ahead and lead in with a sideways Stomping Ground. Probably going to get Wall of Omens ripped with an Inquisition here. Burn, perhaps? Faithless Looting. Okay, so we're probably playing... Okay, actually just Dredge. Interesting. Not what I was expecting. So I think we'd rather... Let's think about this actually. Actually think we're going to take the Horizon Canopy and just take 1 damage this turn. We'll save the Woodfoot Hills to see what we get later. It's possible if we draw into like a Renegade Rallier, we could make use of Kraken a Fetch to ramp ahead into mana a little bit. So we're just going to go... Kiki-Jiki, not one of the best draws we could get at the moment. Now, Wall will, however, buy us some time, and Selfless Spirit will give us a way to kind of fight through what our opponent's doing to some extent. Well, less so with Narcomoeba. So return a prized amalgam, and if he has a land, he's going to get a Bloodghast back as well. Doesn't look like he has much else to do here, though. No Cathartic Reunion cast. Doesn't go for a second Faithless Looting. Doesn't have any dredgers. We may want to actually, so we need to get a 3rd red source if we want to end up going for Kiki-Jiki. Actually, depending on, we could run out a Fulminator Mage. And try and keep him off his mana. Foundry, I'm just trying to think through here. Is there any reason we need to get a shock here? I don't really think there is, especially with 2 forests. We're already taking 1 life off the... Okay, so this is actually excellent. If he ends up fetching for a shock, this Fulminator Mage is going to pay dividends. Especially if he doesn't have access to extra green. And we just want to hold them off mana at the moment. Don't give them the turn to use it. So we could go Sacred Foundry here. The problem with going Sacred Foundry is if we go Sacred Foundry, we cannot fetch for a basic. We could just play a forest next turn, use this turn to go get a Stomping Ground or something like that. So I think we're going to play that. We can fetch on end step. Selfless Spirit can potentially protect Kiki-Jiki if we go for the combo. If we have time to go for the combo. Opponent's going to spend a turn Faithless Looting. Going to discard a Stinkweed Imp, I would presume. Discards 2. And the plan here is to Kiki for at least to get a Wall of Omens draw for a double block on our opponent's turn. Gotta get the Stomping Ground to get access to a red. And we are just on fire with the lands. And we could actually make a copy of Selfless Spirit instead, which would allow us to protect our creatures. Something to consider. It's an Archamoeba. Fortunately, a return before the prize amalgam. Hits another Archamoeba and a Scourge Devil, so this is going to be a problem. I think we kind of just have one turn. So he hits the Archamoeba. He'll get an extra prized amalgam. No land so far. Did he return the... I think so. I think he dredged the Dackmore Salvage back to his hand, so he will have a land drop, which means he's also going to get his Bloodghast, which now are hasty. Scourge Devil. He won't have the mana to unearth it this turn. If he plays a Dark Blast, he's not going to be able to Conflagrate this turn. Okay, so we have one more Bloodghast, so he'll be swinging in for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But we should be okay with that. Save a Lightning Axe here. We're looking okay for this turn. We've seen a Lightning Axe here. No. Okay. So there's a good possibility with the 4 cards in hand that one of those is a Lightning Axe. Doesn't actually attack with the new Hasty Blood Gas, probably a little bit of a mistake there. So actually blank all the damage. We can use Kiki to get a Wall of Omens next turn. We also have Horizon Canopy as a draw. We're really looking for Restoration Angel. It's what we need. Alright, so now we can actually Eldritch Evolution our Wall of Omens token into a Restoration Angel, and if he doesn't have Lightning Axe, we're good, but even if he does, we have Selfless Spirit. So we're actually going to be able to sneak one out here. Alright, and our opponent concedes there as we've assembled the combo and gotten the win. Well, that was a fun game. So we'll be on the draw post board here. It's easy to say, hey, let's generically start with what we want to pull out, and we may want to just look at that, but we definitely know we want to be bringing in Surgical Extraction. I think we want to bring in the Paths, as that stops them from being able to recur their recurring threats. Orzhov Pontiff actually kills quite a bit. Probably could get 2 uses out of that. That seems pretty good. And I think Burnt Forge Tender rather. Sacrifice, prevent all damage a red source of your choice would deal this turn would be excellent against like a Conflagrate. It's possible we want to bring in Blessed Alliance. We'll set that up over here just in case. Yeah, I suppose the problem with Spellskite is Conflagrate is going to, and we can check this just to be certain, but I'm pretty sure that Conflagrate, they can just put 1 of the damage on the Spellskite. Yeah, so if they put 1 damage on the Spellskite, then we're not actually going to eat any damage because we can't redirect it to Conflagrate. Collective Brutality might be okay. As it is, we need to come up with some stuff to cut. These cards all look good. Fulminator Mage is unnecessary. We're looking to cut 6 cards here. Wall of Roots is great with Scavenging Ooze. Oh, I pulled out my second Scavenging Ooze. Voice is fine. Spirit was good. Eidolon of Rhetoric, not necessary. I think we're going to pull back the Blessed Alliance. We're going to pull back 1 of the Restoration Angels. And I think we're actually just going to pull back Wall of Omens. And we're going to submit. We're going to actually run a little short here. It's possible we could have pulled the Orzhov Pontiff. I just don't want to run out of time. So Surgical Extraction here is excellent. Renegade Rallier, Path to Exile. Bit of a land heavy on the draw. Not a ton of stuff to do, but we do have access to Path to Exile. And we have Surgical Extraction to eat one of their main recurring threats out of the graveyard. So despite this being a little bit slower, I'm going to keep this. Plus we are heavy on creatures, so I'm actually okay with this in the matchup, contextually. That's even better. We definitely want to try... Let me think about this. Well, we need the Wall of Omens. I almost feel like starting with Firelit Thicket here is... I mean, it's unnecessary. We're not going to path this first turn, almost certainly. So I think we just lead with Stomping Ground. So we're hoping for a Cathartic Reunion here. Pitching Stinkweed Imp. So he hit Narcomoeba, but none of his other cards. He's got a Lightning Axe. There's really nothing here that we want to surgically extract. So we're, oh, excellent, we got another fetch. So now we can actually definitely ramp with Renegade Rallier. Because we have Firelit Thicket, I think we're going white-green here. As an additional cost, cast Cathartic Reunion, discard 2. So let's get this a little wider. So he's casting the blood, or he's getting 2 blood gas back right now. Should get him a Prized Amalgam. The blood gas are going to be able to continuously recur the Prized Amalgams where he only has so many Narcomoebas. We do have the path that could be used on the Prized Amalgam. The blood gas are going to make it more difficult to get wide. I actually feel like with 2 blood gas we actually want to go at those right now. So I am going to eat the blood gas here and then plan to path the amalgam. Alright, and then opponent has 4 Stinkweed in hand, Thug, and Amalgam. He is also down to 21 cards in his library. Of which Conflagrate is pretty much all that's left. He doesn't have any interaction with our creatures short of Conflagrate. So another great thing here is Eternal Witness. So we're splitting 2 Renegade Rallier, 2 Eternal Witness. And part of that is because Eternal Witness can get us that Surgical Extraction back. Renegade Rallier can't. And I need to play faster. Alright, so I just don't actually feel like there's a whole bunch of need to get the Renegade Rallier down yet. However, we are talking about fetches. Get a Bosk. Alright, so opponent hits his Narcomoeba here. He's gonna get a couple prized amalgams. Three prized. We're gonna take care of one of those right now. So opponent could definitely conflagrate here. 2, 3, 4, 5. He's down to 10 cards though. In his library. Okay. Alright, so opponent's going to attack, we'll block with voice, and Wall of Omens, although he got another conflict right here, so he may actually be able to get wide enough on us. He also does have Scourge Devil, so he's gonna... Yeah, actually, we should just be done here. So he's going for another Conflagrate. So that was, even with the Surgical Extraction too slow, it's very possible that the Prized Amalgam should have been what we took instead of the Bloodghast, considering we could have been trading off with Bloodghasts. Surprisingly, he didn't point 4 points of damage at us. Let's see here. Surgical Extraction does us no good. Can we get wide enough if we run out? Eternal Witness. Returning. So we could Renegade Rallier to get... Yeah, no, we're done. Not sure why he didn't attack us for lethal there. Alright, on the play, I like being up on the Restoration Angel. Wall's still good. Voice is better with Renegade Rallier, but I almost wonder if we don't have time for those sort of shenanigans. I almost wonder if... but it's what do we pull out here? Revel Arc, I suppose, is probably not likely. So Pontiff can get all of the creatures except for Amalgam, really. So I still think that's worth it. You know, Chord's going to be a little difficult. I think we can cut a Chord here. We're just not as likely to have enough creatures on the field to functionally use a Chord properly. No lands is tough. I think we keep this. That makes it a whole lot better. Just was going to say, it's good enough to keep with the bird. Highly unlikely he is able to kill our bird turn 1. Knowing we have a second land now, though, we're much stronger. Green, white, red, white. Possible it would have been better to go for the Wall of Omens there, but if he goes for the all-in, Conflagrate Wall of Omens will make our voice a little bit bigger. So it looks like he's going to go for the all-in conflagrate here. It doesn't go all in, just does enough to get rid of voice. Gets an Archamoeba. Gonna get a couple amalgams. Right now those amalgams can't effectively attack, however. Ores of Pontiff can clear the board a bit. But with Life from the Loam, it's unlikely he runs out of lands. We can consider Horizon Canopying here to draw another card. We have a second green, so we're not too worried about it here. He's trying to set up another conflagrate. It'd be really nice to have a well, I guess we wouldn't have the colors available to Chord for one right now anyway. So we're going conflagrate. He's got the ability to cut 5. I mean, he can do like 2 to the token, 1 to the 3 to the token, 1 to the Pontiff, and that'll kill. Right. Probably more likely to sacrifice the Wall of Roots. So we're not blocking with Wall of Oms just because we don't want it to die this turn. We can't use Wall of Roots because we don't want it to die this turn. Restoration Angel is going to be pretty great here. We'll be able to throw it down for blocks, Flickering Wall of Omens. We're down to 1 conflagrate left. and I'm okay with him conflagrating the Restoration Angel with the second resto. If he goes for the Wall of Roots, we'll use that to pop the Horizon Canopy. He's going to point one at us. Suppose we could have thrown the Wall of Roots down and Resto Angel there. Bad math on my part. Definitely a mistake on my part. Just gonna cast another Life from the Loam here. Unfortunately, not going to get any value out of this Renegade Rallier. And that is actually lethal, so we are going to lose here. If I had played the Wall of Roots the previous turn and then used Restoration Angel that turn, that would have bought us one more turn. Let's see what we would have drawn with one more turn. Nothing of use. Alright, well, unfortunately, played a little slow, had to rush some stuff, but still it's a fun deck. Just didn't really draw what we needed when we needed. Again, could have bought myself some more time in that last game, but still a little bit of a bummer. We'll be back with another match soon.